Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review and show you why I love this Mr. Coffee One Touch Coffeehouse Espresso, Cappuccino, and Latte maker. So this was just released. I got the white version. It does come in gray. It's going to be available in several places, but I got mine off of Amazon for $349. So Mr. Coffee is no stranger to making espresso machines. I think this is probably their third one. They've got a Cafe Barista, they've got a One Touch, and this is the One Touch Plus. I've got all those previous year models. I'll be doing a comparison video with those, but today I'm going to show you why I love this coffee maker. So first I'm going to talk about the machine, and then I'm actually going to make an espresso. We'll make a cappuccino, a latte. So right off the bat, the machine looks very nice. It does have a power switch here on the right. It's got a milk frother here. We got to lift this little lever, and the milk frother comes out. You're going to fill this up with milk. And then the nice thing about this is when you're done making an espresso or a cappuccino, you can put this jug of milk back in the refrigerator and save it because you're not going to use it all every time you fix a drink. In the back, it does have a nice water reservoir that is removable. So to put the frother back in, you're just going to simply make sure you get it in this little notch right here. You're going to slide it in until it clicks. Make sure it clicks, then the lights come on. So I've got the machine turned on. Now there's a status bar up here. When you first turn the machine on, the status bar is going to be over here, and it's going to slowly work its way over to the right. And the machine does turn off automatically. It goes into like a sleep mode after about 5-10 minutes. But when you first turn it on, here's what the status bar. You have to wait till the status bar is all the way over to the right. None of these buttons are lit up. So once that status bar gets to the right, that means the internal temperature is heated up. Then it activates all these buttons that you can use. And this is really meant for, you can do a single espresso, a double espresso, a single latte, double latte, single cappuccino, double cappuccino. Or you can manually do an espresso. So you start it and stop it with that button. Same with the froth. It also has a clean feature, which I'll be showing you. So what makes these coffee makers, so what makes this espresso machine nice is you're going to press this espresso button and it just does espresso. But if you press the latte or the cappuccino button, it's going to froth the milk first, and then it's going to run the double shot automatically. It starts and stops the frother and the espresso machine automatically on its own. So next we got the wand. You're going to direct this into a bigger cup when you're doing a cappuccino or latte. Now that's going to be really hot steam and milk coming out this wand. Now you can control how much froth you get. So for a latte, you're going to want less foam. And for a cappuccino, you're going to turn this knob over to the plus, which is more foam. So for a latte, you'll have more heated milk, less foam. Here you'll have more foam and less heated milk. So it does come with a drip tray. And this one you can also move it up a little closer. It's got a little area there. And then this drip tray does come out for easy cleaning. And it's got a little red thing that's going to pop up. When this drip tray is full, that little red thing will pop up through your little grate there. Okay, so the status bar is all the way. Now these lights are activated. I can press these now and it'll work. So it does come with a Portafilter, and it does come with a single shot filter and a double shot. I'll be using mainly the double shot filter. Now it sits in there. You got to kind of push it in there. There's kind of a spring that holds it. And to get it out, it can be a little tricky, but you can get it out. Now this does come apart. You don't have to take this apart every time to clean it. Normally I just rinse this out and then dry it off really good before my next one. But you can take it all apart. Take that nut off, and then this comes apart, and that all comes apart, and you can clean that really thoroughly. Put it back together, and then put your nut back on. Now anytime, we want to make sure this is nice and dry. So always make sure this is nice and dry. Okay, so let's talk about the espresso shot. You're going to put your 2-shot in. Now let's talk about the coffee. You can use regular coffee, but it has to be ground at a fine grind. Here I've got some Starbucks whole bean coffee that I ground at a fine grind. Now see, it's very fine. Medium grind coffee, that's what you use in a coffee maker. That will not work in this machine. So Mr. Coffee does sell a burr grinder. A conical burr grinder does work the best for making really fine coffee grounds. But you can buy this in a can. It's already ground at a fine grind. It's just made just for espresso ground coffee. If we open it up, so you can use this right out of the can because this is really fine ground. Okay, so it does come with a scoop, and the 2-shot does take 2 scoops. Now you want to put it in there Then you want to kind of even it out a little bit, and then you're going to tamp it down with this. And we want the coffee to end up just a little bit below the edge there. Okay, so I've got my finely ground coffee. Dark roast and French roast work the best. So let's put 2 scoops of coffee now in this portafilter. And again, sometimes you'll make a mess. You'll get used to it. You'll get better at it. You got to kind of make it a little taller than it is. Then kind of make it even. And now we're going to tamp it. So it's kind of even. Now just do 1 firm tamp. Okay. Now I got some excess here. We don't want anything on these ears that we're going to be putting in the machine. Okay. So see, that's a nice flat tamp, nice and strong, and the coffee is just below the edge there. Now this tamper doesn't quite cover that whole thing, so you got to kind of tamp it just a little bit more around each edge. There, it's nice and flat. So up underneath there is the shower head for the espresso. So you're going to put this in kind of at a 45-degree angle, like that, and then hold the machine and you got to rotate it. Rotate it till it's in the locked position facing you. I'm only going to do an espresso this time, so let's do a double shot. So press this button twice. So 1, 2, and the little 2 is lit up. So it starts brewing right away. Now I've had this with cappuccinos and latte. That's a very good espresso shot. All right, see, it starts and stops automatically. And there are just little beeps. They're not really loud. Okay, so they cool off really quick. Let's see what we have. About a 151, 160. Okay, so now let's go over cleanup again. Be careful, that can be hot, but the handle's not hot. Turn this, it'll come down. There's our ground espresso in there. We got to get that out of there. That's called the puck. We got to get that out. Now this is a knock box. Sometimes you can go to your trash can and kind of knock this on your hand, but we got to get that espresso ground out of there. Or sometimes you can take the scoop and kind of scoop it out. Yeah, sometimes the knock box works sometimes, but sometimes that just comes out. This doesn't have a little thing that flips up and holds it, so let's try that again. There it came out. Okay, so I went over to the sink, rinsed that out. Now you do have to make sure this is dry. So again, put this back in. Let's put our espresso in, and let's do a cappuccino this time. Again, I got my coffee in there, just kind of smooth it out, and then we got to give it a tamp. And then get rid of the excess on the ears. Just gently wipe it. You don't want to touch that. And just kind of, since that tamper doesn't quite go all the way around, you kind of just get the edges a little bit. There, it's another shot ready to go. Very simple to put it in, lock it. Let's get a little bigger cup this time. You got to put it in, make sure the milk frother goes into the cup because it's going to froth the milk and then it's going to run the espresso shot. So since we're doing a cappuccino, we want more froth. So our status bar is ready to go. Let's hit this twice. And that little 2 lights up. So it's going to froth the milk first. And that milk is really hot. About 144. And now automatically it's going to run the espresso shot right into the cup. Okay, so it starts and stops automatically. Okay, let's grab our drink. There's what it looks like. That's foam on the top. There is hot milk in the bottom and your espresso shot's right there in the middle. Okay, so this is where the fun comes in. I like to add caramel syrup. You can add caramel, mocha, chocolate, or white chocolate. You can make a white chocolate mocha. Add about 2 tablespoons of syrup to this. Stir it in, and it tastes really good. Okay, so give that a good stir. Stir in that syrup. And then I like to just drizzle a little bit of caramel on top, just to kind of give it a decoration. There you go. That's a really good tasting drink. Yep. You still have that strong espresso taste to it, but the milk and the syrup kind of help take the bitterness off of it. Okay, so we got to clean this up again. Again, get the coffee grounds out of there and clean it up. Okay, so let's make a latte. Got my espresso, I got my double shot in. Okay, so now I'm going to want less froth, so turn this knob, and we're going to press the latte button twice for a double latte. You can see the number 2 is lit up. So you can see we got quite a bit more hot milk in this drink. And now it's going to run the double espresso in there. The machine is very fast. Let's just do a temperature check before I take it out. So about 176, 178. So let's take it out. Again, you're going to add your syrups. We can stir that in. We can add some whipped cream to it, but we do have some foam on the top. Again, a lot more hot milk at the bottom and our espresso shot in the middle. Okay, so let's say now you're done making drinks, and let's clean the milk frother. So get you an empty container, direct that into it, and we're going to press the clean button. It's an automatic function. We got to turn this knob. That's the clean function. And then we're going to press this button. So it'll start and stop automatically. So press the button. It is kind of loud and it makes a lot of steam. Now it's not running milk through there. It's just running hot water and steam through the wand. Okay, it's finishing up. Be careful, that steam wand will be hot. You can take that out, store that. Make sure you turn this away from steam so the next time you use it, it's ready to go. Now I can put this in the refrigerator and it's ready to go for the next time. Now when I bring it out of the refrigerator, I put it in the machine and it's ready. Make sure it clicks. And once in a while, I also like to run a single espresso. Don't put the portafilter on and just let that hot water go out that shower head. It kind of cleans, it rinses that shower head. You can see we can get some espresso grounds on there, so be careful. That's when you run water through that, it gets really hot, so be careful. Okay, so let's talk about the manual button. So I've got a manual froth button and a manual espresso. So I've got this cappuccino. Say I want to add some more froth milk to it. I can turn the wand into it, put this where I need it, and then I can press this froth button and it'll froth until I hit that button again to stop it. And then I go up here, hit the button, that's how you stop it. Up here, these are automatic buttons. Down here, these are manual buttons. So I'll demonstrate the espresso button. When you press it, it's going to run water through there until I press it again and stop it. So you can see that kind of helps clean that shower head. And then when I press it again, it stops. But I can do that. If I had my portafilter in there with espresso, I could do an espresso that way myself. Doing it that way, you're just kind of in control of it. You got to start and stop it. So I really like this espresso machine. I like being able to put the milk jug in the refrigerator to save the milk. It makes a good latte cappuccino when you add your syrups. Cleanup is relatively simple. I like the automatic function, being able to press the button and kind of let the machine do the work. So if you're wanting an espresso machine that you kind of feel like a barista at home, this is a really nice machine. You will make some mess once in a while, but that's okay. It's fun to play with. It's fun to make these different drinks. So I really love this espresso machine. I love the white color. The gray I think will be just as pretty. It seems like they're giving it more of paying more attention to detail. It looks really nice. I think the machine operated very nice. Again, it's going to be getting the right espresso grind. You know, you got to grind your coffee at a really fine grind. That's what's going to help in your portafilter. You know, I wish the portafilter had something. Their older one had a thing that flipped up that held the thing in to get so you could get the coffee grounds out. But I think the machine is fast. Now it does have a clean light, so that clean light is going to come on after. So in the manual, it talks about that cleaning notification will come on after 200 cycles. And then you've got to put it into a deep cleaning mode with vinegar and water. I'm going to do a separate video on how to descale this, because this does have a heating element inside that's heating water that hard water deposits can stick to. So if this espresso machine is taking a lot longer to brew your espresso, or if you're seeing more steam than milk or more steam than espresso, those are signs. Or if it's not tasting as hot or as good as it used to, those are all signs that it's time to descale. Again, I'm going to do several comparisons. Again, there's two older models of this same style of machine. So I did the Mr. Coffee. That's a burr grinder, conical burr. That's not a conical burr grinder. My OXO, that works the best. That gets it at a really, really fine grind and more consistent. This Mr. Coffee one did okay. I would like to see just a little more consistency and maybe just a little finer. I had that on the finest setting that it comes with. And then what's really nice is you're in control of these drinks. So if these are still too bitter for you, just add a little bit more syrup. That does help take away some of the bitterness, and maybe even a little bit more of the milk. That does help also. But if you want the rich coffee flavor and not so much, then you don't have to add as much chocolate or froth milk. So again, being able to be like a barista at home, these machines, I just love these machines. Again, you'll get used to I make mess when I first started using these, but you know, you get better at it over time. They're just fun to learn on and fun to make all these different kinds of drinks. This is sort of where my coffee journey began. About 5 years ago, the original Mr. Coffee barista I bought, never done coffee or espresso in my entire life. And I bought that machine. That was my first video. I posted it. The video was, you can still see it. It's awful. But I was just trying to help people back then. The video got a lot of views. And I thought, man, if I can just, if I can do a little better job with the production side and actually trying to help people a little bit better, I'm going to see what happens. And that's where I'm at today. So I really have a fond memory of the Mr. Coffee, the original Cafe Barista. It looks a little bit like this. It's more square. I still have it. I still have my original one. I love it. So the prices have really gone up. This is $300 and some. That seems a little high right now. I gotta hope it's gonna go on sale. The Cafe Barista was not that high. It was $200 and some, I think. Again, I want to give a shout out to a viewer. A viewer told me about this coffee maker. I had no idea about this coffee maker or this espresso machine. So thank you for leaving in the comments of another video. I look at my comments. So if there's anything you kind of want to say about this coffee maker or future reviews, let me know in there. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, this does do ESE pod compatible. Easy serving espresso. So I don't know much about those ESE pods. They're kind of like espresso ground coffee in a filter bag, and you put the filter bag right here. So it's made just, you don't have to put the espresso grounds in here yourself. They're in a kind of a filter bag, and it grounds it. And I may buy some. I've just never seen them. So that may be a future video to see how it does. So Keurig's got 2 brand new coffee makers. Mr. Coffee has 2 other coffee makers that just came out, the Latte and the Latte Luxe. Very good coffee makers. Those work pretty good, but this one, if you really want to feel like a barista, you know, using the portafilter, tamping your coffee grounds and all of that, this is the machine to get then. So I hope this video helps. I really appreciate everybody's support. And if you could, please like and subscribe.